Welcome into Good News Forecast. I'm meteorologist Kaylee Bowers.
And I'm Sophia Perricone. Thanks for joining us for another week of good news from around the world, across the country, and right here in our own backyards. You know how we always start it. Kaylee Bowers,
Sophia Perricone.
Meteorologist Kaylee Bowers. Are you having a good week?
It's a hot week.
It is. Are you enjoying this?
You know what? I'm not complaining. I feel like the older I get, I'm kind of slowly adapting to the heat and the humidity. The hair is a different story. We're just going to ignore the hair. But you know what? Like I would rather have this than the extreme cold, because I know I have some people on my Facebook say the heat messes with my joints. The cold messes with my joints. It hurts a lot. But I also can't believe what today is.
Hold on, everyone. I have to think about it. It's a Wednesday. We record these on a Wednesday, July 1st.
It's July.
It's July. That is actually crazy.
We're halfway through the year already.
Okay, see, when you put it like that, it's really jarring.
It's gonna be 2027 before you know it.
I know, it's where does the time go? And I feel like the back half of the year is always faster than the front half, and look how fast the front half was, so we're just gonna zoom to...
Well, we have so many holidays, it's the second half of summer. Not rushing though, we're just the beginning of July.
And we really wanna enjoy the warmth because we know what's coming on the other side of the warmth, so let's not rush, we're just gonna creep our way through the summer. That's how I would do it if it was up to me. Slowly crawl, creep away. You know what I'm saying? Slow. Let's get through the summer slowly.
Let's crawl. Maybe not creep.
Yeah.
Creep's for Halloween. This is Good News Forecast, Sophia, not Scary News Forecast.
Which Halloween will be here before we know it. And if you stick around, we are going to talk a little bit about Halloween, actually.
I'm so excited.
Alert.
But we are talking all things summer first, and Rhythm on the River in Grand Rapids, Ohio is a fantastic place to enjoy the Maumee River and listen to some great music.
This year's theme is patriotic music, of course, in honor of America's 250th birthday. Photojournalist Paul Kwapik introduces us to the band Organic Ingredients.
Well, the name of the band is Organic Ingredients, and we're here because the Historical Society of Grand Rapids sponsors this event. It's called Rhythm on the River.
Rhythm on the River started in the late 80s to early 90s, and I took it over about 1996. So I've been doing these programs for about a lot of years.
We have an organ. The reason we have the name Organic Ingredients is because it's based around a Hammond organ. We'll have a guitar player, a sax player, and a drummer as well, but the Organic Ingredients part was a play on it. Well, I live right across the street, so it's one of the most beautiful places. Here on the Maumee River, you get to hear the rapids a little bit and sit in a nice shady park and see great entertainment.
They're very popular. Used to be in the letter to the performers, I would say, there may only be 20 of us. Well, now we have several hundred at each program.
We play mostly jazz. We play every Wednesday night at Maumee Bay Brewing in downtown Toledo. And in a room we call the tip jar, so we get paid. We do that every Wednesday night from 7 to 10, and we play mostly jazz, but there will be a little Steely Dan and some other kind of rock and roll in that side as well.
Yeah, they love to come here. I have them begging every year to come back, which is really nice for me. And one thing the last couple of years has been nice, I can go on YouTube and listen to them before they come, so I know the quality that we're getting. Yes.
Oh, you can't get paid enough to not love it. Playing live music in 2026 is nothing like it was in 1981. I could charge more in the cover charge at the door in 1986 than you can today, and get away with it. You know, we're all elderly gentlemen. We're not doing it for the future, we're doing it for right now because we love to play. I hope we made them smile. That would be my goal. If I can make everybody go out here with a smile, for whatever reason, maybe they liked Ghost of a Chance, maybe they like Kid Charlemagne, maybe, you know, whatever it was, I just hope something touches them and makes them smile. There will be a bluegrass band, then there will be an us, and there will be a The high school band will play the last one of the season, and it's always different. It's always the loveliest place to sit and spend an hour, hour and 15 minutes seeing and hearing live music. Live music is the best.
Doesn't it make you want to be outside listening to music in such a beautiful environment?
It looks very relaxing, obviously not with the heat and the humidity, but that just seems so peaceful and just community. And I know a lot of communities do this. They have party in the, not like kind of music in the park, parties in the park, just the kind of little get together to wrap up the week, the weekend. It's just so nice.
It's very nice to see that in that. I just loved all the scenery. What a beautiful story from Paul Klopik there. It just kind of gave me the chills. Just, you know, I really like what he said. He's like, we're not playing for the future to make a future out of this. We're playing for the right now. And I think that's just a good message. Live in the moment and just enjoy what's around us. We live in such a beautiful area, and I know it's hot and humid right now. I like it. I'll be outside with this weather, but you know, taking the sights, taking the scenery, taking the sounds.
That was cute.
Thanks, I just did that off the top of my head.
That was impressive. I like that.
Thank you.
Write that down.
Yeah. So give me credit though. At the time of this recording, we are just a few days away from 4th of July. It's a big day every year, but everyone is going extra big this year since it's America's 250th birthday.
And Flag City, USA is no exception. In Findlay, banners decorated by local students line the streets. And it's not just the students getting involved in the fun. Local businesses are too.
Flag City, USA, we like to think we're patriotic all the time, but definitely there's also going to be some, the downtown businesses and all across the community are going to be decorating as patriotic as they can, so kind of having a little competition between the businesses and things like that, getting everybody as involved as possible.
Findlay held a celebration at the end of June at Riverside Park as part of the state's challenge for all 88 counties in Ohio to hold a community picnic.
And this week, we could be celebrating more than just the 4th of July and America's 250th birthday. We could be celebrating the U.S. men's national team moving on to the round 16 of the FIFA World Cup.
At the time of this recording, the U.S. men's team has not played yet in the round of 32. Here they are in the round of 32, though. Here they are practicing in Irvine, California. Again, the team is in the knockout round of 32, which means they have to beat Bosnia to move forward to that round of 16. And the team knows they have to be on their best game.
Yeah, we know we're going to have to be at our best. Very, very difficult team to play against. Very strong defensively. Very, very good in set pieces, but they also have quality going forward. A lot of good players that play on really good teams in Europe. So we know it's not going to be easy. We're going to keep reviewing them, keep studying some film, and then, yeah, we'll be ready to go.
So if the U.S. wins, they play the winner of the game between Belgium and Senegal.
Exciting. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Again, at the time of this recording, they have not played yet, but I have a feeling they're going to make it to the next step.
I sure hope so, especially when they're kind of the host of the World Cup this year. It'd be nice to see them go a little further, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Mexico and Canada, the other hosts, have made it to the round of 16.
Okay.
So the U.S. kind of needs to make it in. I believe they are favored to win. There have been some notable losses, though. Germany is already out, which is crazy. The Netherlands lost to Morocco, so the Netherlands is out. 4 years ago, the Netherlands eliminated the U.S. So the Netherlands and Germany, both historically good teams, but both out. So
we'll see.
Maybe it's meant for the U.S. to win this year.
This could just be the year of who knows what's going to happen.
And I just think with like lining up with America's 250th birthday, it would be really great.
I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool.
So we'll see. We'll keep you updated, of course. But speaking of the World Cup, we told you about Yasmin Matawa, a sophomore at Anthony Wayne who was picked to be a flag bearer at one of the World Cup games. Well, it finally happened. Last month, she was in Boston carrying one of Ghana's flags against the game against at the game against England.
And her mom shared some photos and videos with us. You can see right there, Yasmin made quite a few friends during the experience too. This is all thanks to FIFA and a partnership with McDonald's and Coca-Cola. She didn't witness any goals as the match finished tied with at both zeros, but still it was an unforgettable experience nonetheless.
Really cool.
Is this something you would do? I know you're a big fan of the World Cup. You love soccer. Would you do this?
I think I would. Is it bad that my first thought is, wow, that looks really heavy?
No.
So I think I'd prefer to be in the stands just watching.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy she got to do this. She plays soccer,
Yeah.
so what an experience.
I mean, maybe next World Cup she can do it again. And just keep doing it, and then eventually play in the World Cup.
Yeah, which the Women's World Cup is next year. So the U.S. women's team has, I think they won last time, and I think even the time before that. They're phenomenal.
Look at Sophia right now.
Love the World Cup.
You're gonna have to teach me some more soccer during the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good News Forecast. A vacant lot in North Toledo is getting a second chance, and community members behind it say it's more than just revamping the space.
They say it's also about hope for the community. Annalise Corneo Garcia has the story.
Right now, you're not in a prairie or a forest. You're actually in a lot at the corner of Stickney Avenue and Michigan Street. And North Toledo Coalition Director Alfonso Narvaez says this is exactly how the lot directly across the street from it used to look less than a year ago.
It used to be 3 or 4 foot high grass, weeds, trash would be collected.
For years, community members took it upon themselves to mow and clean up the plot. But last spring, they decided it was time for something more.
It's not really being productive. So the idea came about, well, let's turn it into a park.
This summer, that vision became reality. The Lucas County Land Bank handed ownership over the land to the North Toledo Coalition, and the Harvest of Hope Pocket Park was born.
Let's give hope to the residents in the neighborhood that good things can happen here.
But before breaking ground, Narvaez says they made sure to listen first, and what they heard shaped the project.
One of the things was the need for fresh produce. So we're going to look for volunteers, and hopefully we can get some vegetable gardens going.
Neighbors are already pitching in, adding a trash can and dog poop bag dispensers to keep the space tidy. Narvaez tells me there are big plans ahead, including removing this large tree to open up more space and adding a free library. But more than anything,
we hope to restore hope and inspiration back into the neighborhood along the same lines of just having a spot where people can be proud of, and in a neighborhood that is often overlooked and where residents feel forgotten.
If you want to donate to the park, you can find a list of what they need on WTOL.com. Really cool.
I'll tell you what, just the biggest thing I really loved with that was just the greenery and just the flowers. It's just, you think of that with parks and just how you're beautifying it. It's just so beautiful.
And there have been studies done that show adding green spaces in parks to urban areas really improves morale in the community. And it gives something people, like everyone in that community, they now have something to pitch into. Yeah. And it's a community effort. They all want to see everything do well. So they're invested in it. I did the original story a year ago when Alfonso, the guy in the story, first announced that this park was coming. It looked completely different from how it does now. So progress, really great to see.
I love that. And it's just pride and community and just something to be excited about. So very cool. I'm excited to see a follow-up this time next year.
Yes. Oh, I like that. We'll have it right here on Good News Forecast this time next year. So we're in summer. We're talking about summer.
Yeah.
But what did we mention at the top of the show?
Spooky season.
Yes. If you can't wait for Halloween, you might not have to.
Okay.
Take a look at this video. You see that?
Oh.
That is Michael Myers biking around Toledo. But why? Why, you may ask?
Huh?
Jeremy James started cycling in costume to and from work last October.
Oh, this makes me sweat just looking at this mask right here. Although he says people were delighted to see him in costume, he did put it away after Halloween, but James missed bringing a smile to people's faces. So he decided to put the costume back on this summer. Now he regularly bikes from his home near Toledo Airport to downtown Toledo to spread a little bit of spooky fun.
A lot of people say they appreciate what I'm doing and that it really makes them smile or made them laugh when they were having a terrible day. People can see me, and I have social anxiety, so I'm kind of fighting it myself by making myself go out.
James says he plans to combat the summer heat and humidity by buying a new lightweight jumpsuit for his costume. All right, you know what I'm going to ask you, Kaylee?
Sophia, yeah.
As a meteorologist, you always have the holiday countdown going.
I do.
Because you can then tell us the averages for those holidays.
Mm-hmm.
How far are we from Halloween? What does the average temp look like on Halloween?
As of this recording, today's July 1st, we have 122 days until Halloween. The average high, 59 degrees.
And what's the high today, Kaylee?
Our forecasted high is 98. Our average high is 86.
Oh.
But you know what? Again, we like the summertime heat,
Yeah.
but just hearing that 59 is like, ooh, it's sweater weather. That's the first time I've said that.
Wow, first time of the season, of the year.
Pumpkin spice. You know, that's another thing. Pumpkin spice is going to be here next month, Sophia.
Next month?
Next month.
Oh, August.
It's July.
Then they come, they really, I'm surprised it's not July because it feels like every year they bring it up a month.
Guys, come here. Bring it to camera one real fast. Okay. Listen to this. I'm going to go on. It's been a second since I've done a little rant.
Yes, it has. But do it.
So it's July 1st. They come out with pumpkin spice sometimes around like August 14th.
Crazy.
We are 6 weeks away possibly from pumpkin spice. Carry on.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't know. Like, part of me's excited, but also part of me's like, that is rushing summer a lot. I will be honest, I did get my pumpkin spice when it did come out at Starbucks last year. I waited until Starbucks because that's the flavor I do like.
Yeah.
And by Halloween, I was burnt out.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to wait until at least maybe September 1st, which is still a bit of a rush, but
I hear you.
it's almost pumpkin season.
It's bittersweet because by the time it gets here, you're like over the heat and ready for the fall, but it still doesn't feel like fall yet.
It's still hot.
It's like an internal
And I know a lot of people, once it's July 5th, is like, all right, give me the pumpkins, give me the leaves, give me the sweaters, give me the orange, the browns. I'm ready for cooler weather. It's like, okay, we can be excited, but let's slow down a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Anyways, sorry. You guys know how I am with my holidays. But if you're not ready for Halloween and you're likely still in the summer spirit, and nothing says summer like getting outside and maybe playing some pickleball. How about this? Pickleball is one of America's fastest growing sports, and now the Ability Center is making sure even more people can join in.
The organization recently held its first adaptive pickleball session of the summer at the University of Toledo Rec Center. The program is designed for people with mobility limitations, using simple rule changes to make the game more accessible.
One of the major rule changes is the bounces. So in traditional pickleball, you get about one bounce when it goes to the other side. With adaptive pickleball, you get two. And that gives participants more time to move from their side where they're at, maybe to the opposite, to go grab a ball if they're using a sports chair or if they have mobility limitations. So it just makes it easier for everyone to participate.
So organizers say the idea came directly from the community. The group meets every other Monday from 5 to 7 at the UT Rec Center, and anyone interested is encouraged to sign up through the Ability Center. You like pickleball.
I do. Have you ever played?
No.
Okay.
Maybe one. I have bad knees, so I just get very hesitant with that kind of stuff. You've seen me play tennis before, and
It was pretty good for having to stand in one spot. You're
It's just-
really good. You got a good swing.
I made her work out a lot, just having to go back and forth from side to side. But pickleball, I have heard it is safer on your knees.
Okay.
Still not going to risk it, but you really enjoyed the sport.
I really do. I really enjoy pickleball. My first encounter with pickleball was, let's see, 29. I have to do some mental math.
Okay. You're so young.
So young. Maybe like, 16 years ago.
Okay.
My grandma was really into pickleball when it first started coming on the scene for the elderly community. Now, now it's for everyone. It really is for everyone. So she would make my cousins and me get out on the court and play with all her friends. So I should be better for the amount of years I've been playing.
That's okay.
But I do enjoy a little friendly competition.
So it's been around longer than we think it has. It's just kind of boomed and blossomed out of nowhere, but it's been around for a while.
Yeah,
That's
I think,
true.
I think with COVID, everyone got really into it, but no, it's a sport that's been around for a while.
You know what sport I really liked playing as a kid was racquetball.
Oh, well, you would love pickleball.
Again, it's just the knees. It's the knees. I can't. Sorry, 2 surgeries, arthritis. Like, I'm done. I'm done.
Nope.
Anyways.
Yeah. All right. And we're done with this, but not with the show. We'll be right back after this break. Thank you for staying with us on Good News Forecast. We love a good success story, especially when it involves food.
Especially. But this story about the world's fastest pizza maker isn't just about his record. It's about where he came from to get there. Sean Martinelli has the story out of Virginia.
Football had Brady, basketball had Jordan. Domino's? They have their own legend in Richard Delson.
He's a dog, I won't lie, he's a dog.
High praise from customers for a man who sets an even higher bar.
And he make the fastest pizza, and he right here in my city.
Ready, set, begin. Come on, Richard!
Let's go!
Just watch. In the amount of time it takes to tie your shoes,
Record time right here, Richard. Record time right here, Richard.
Richard can make 3 hand-tossed large pizzas.
Okay.
Most of us can't pick apart a pack of pepperoni as fast as he churns out pies.
How does one become the fastest pizza maker in the world?
A lot of practicing.
And don't worry, these particular ones are not for consuming. It's all part of Richard's training.
It's tough. It's pretty intense.
That's store owner Robert Donner, referring to Domino's version of the World Cup. The world's fastest pizza-making competition.
There was just something special about it.
Special when Richard approached this Las Vegas stage recently and turned the competition into crust.
With a 31.22 world record.
3 large pizzas, 31.22 seconds.
What are people's reactions when they find out you're the fastest pizza maker in the world?
Shocked. My God, you can do 3 pizzas that fast?
But Richard's path from Manassas, Virginia to Vegas, that took much longer.
The Richard that we see today is very different than the Richard who first stepped into Domino's.
I've never thought about it, until now that you're thinking, we're talking, Never thought about, where would I be? It just took me off the streets, just not to hang out with the wrong crowds.
He was hired in high school by his sister and started at the bottom.
And honestly, she didn't see me as a manager, but now she's like, wow.
Manager and now world champ.
Now my daughter is 12 and turning 13 in the next couple months. And she actually texted me saying, hey, my friends are asking about you. Are you, the world's fastest pizza maker? And I'm telling them, yeah.
What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I can't explain it, honestly.
Pure pride. And while he can quickly top any pizza, he won't soon top that. In Manassas, Virginia, Sean Martinelli, WUSA 9.
I would still eat those pizzas.
Me too. I know they were very explicit in saying these aren't for consumption, but I'll take a slice.
I mean, as long as you know, hey, this may be a little bit lopsided with the pepperonis or something, or a little bit of cheese here and there missing, but that's still 32 or 31 seconds for 3 pies. Okay, show us your best pizza tossing skills.
All right, your turn.
Well, you gotta roll it out a little bit
I didn't know
first.
we were doing
You
the
gotta
whole
roll
thing.
it
Okay,
out.
show me, yeah.
Roll it out, and then you pick it up, and then you do the twist and the catch. There we go.
You get it all on Good News Forecast. You
Twist,
get lessons.
catch.
Wow. Okay, that was really good. I think you can challenge him.
So where's the pizza? We provide the pizza story.
I will do better next time. I will bring pizza next time.
So we talk about food on the show, but we never get food on the show.
Feels like it's my fault.
Nah.
Yeah. All right, we leave you with a story not too far from Northwest Ohio. It's the story of a nurse or an angel or a saint or maybe all 3 rolled into one.
Steve Hartman is on the road in Columbus, Ohio.
When Wynola Wayne walked out of work for the last time after 58 years as a nurse, you could tell this was no ordinary retirement send-off. This was the canonization of a saint who went way above and beyond for her patients, as you will soon see for yourself after this reunion with one of her very first patients. Back in 1965, Marco Haupt, who was then just 15 months old,
right here,
was visiting his grandma's house when a Christmas tree caught fire.
Wow.
Marco had third-degree burns over 85% of his body.
On the way to the hospital, I died twice. They didn't expect me to make it. When the fire department found me, a toy was melted in my left hand.
Marco was brought here to what is now Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, where a brand new nurse, still in training, was working in the burn unit.
Good morning, good morning. And there was such a feeling of connection with him. And even though those burns were extensive, I said, you're going to survive, because I could see it in his eyes.
My parents used to tell me about this nurse. In the morning, she was there. In the evening, she was there. At night, she was there.
So your parents credited this nurse with saving your life?
Yep, absolutely.
Marco has come to believe the same.
If it wasn't for her then, I wouldn't be here today.
Where he is today is married 12 years to his wife Tiffany. They have 2 children, and Marco has a good job as a school administrator and coach.
Okay.
None of which surprises Wynola, who was so impressed by the will of that little boy, she named her own son after him.
Cheers.
Likewise, Marco was so impressed with Wynola's compassion, he named her his divine protector.
That was my guardian angel. She fought for me while I didn't know how to fight. She would not give up.
After a 5-minute standing ovation, Marco escorted Wynola out of the building. And although she is now retired as a nurse, Marco says she will always retain her other title.
You're an angel.
Steve Hartman.
You're an angel.
On the road in Columbus, Ohio.
You just never know what to expect, especially with retirements and all the people you've impacted over the years. They just kind of come out the woodworks, but there's always those few that you remember from the beginning.
And what I really liked was, when obviously he went through something very traumatic, that he said he died twice on the way to the hospital. Obviously very low expectations that he would actually survive, but she said to him, even though he was like a 15-month-old baby, you're gonna survive, you're gonna survive. It takes that one person to believe and say yes. And I think I mentioned this on our last show that we did. It's all like positive vibes. Like I really think make a difference and could be the difference in a situation like this.
Might be just as good as some medicine, honestly.
I agree.
That positive energy for sure. Well, that does it for this week's episode of Good News Forecast. We are so glad to be back with you again for another week.
We'll see you next week with more good news from around the world, across the country, and right here in our own backyards. Bye.